Michael at a Matthew Herbert big band session. We did a session at Maida Vale for the Radio 1 show, and suddenly I got introduced to you, which was a bit of a shocker.
It was,
and it was kind of ironic in a weird sort of way, because we had the man watching the kind of, Dave was playing bass, Dave Green was playing bass.
That's right.
On the day.
Bob Mackay was on baritone.
Yeah. And it's quite an interesting full circle in a strange way with what Matthew's doing.
Absolutely. And you guys obviously go way back.
Yep, the Plump Club.
Yeah, way back. Bob Mackay, eh? Because Bob was a kind of student of mine from, it's an interesting point this actually, from Wellington. John Danquist, Clear Lane's jazz course, that's where I met Bob. And then we found out, interestingly, that he was at Marlborough College in Wiltshire, and I had been to Marlborough College during the war. The City of London School was evacuated to Marlborough College. So Bob Mackay was instrumental in getting me a little sort of weekend sort of jazz, what could you say, kind of masterclass thing down there. Taking me back to my roots, if you like. I mean, that's, I hate to tell you, 65 years, Incredible. Because I was there during the war, you see. And it was there that I first heard a saxophone at a school concert, and that was a switch going on in my head, which has never gone off, and that's what I tell my students. Every time you play everything you got, because you never know who's hearing it, and it's like going to change their life. Yeah, saxophone, I heard them, and that was it, I had to have one. So I went down, I've got to have a saxophone, Dad. And he was broad-minded enough to make sure that he could hire one, and I could prove to him in a couple of weeks that I meant it. And then I went back to school, and a saxophone was procured, £6 it was, a John Gray, no top F, no bottom B flat, an amazingly ancient instrument with a double octave key, and
you still got it?
No, but I remember it like yesterday, and I mean it is a very romantically nostalgic thing to think about. That was it. I had to have a saxophone. I was that determined.
How old were you then?
I was 15, and when I got home and practiced it at home in Palmer's Green, the cafe 3 doors down the road filed a complaint with the Borough Council about my practicing. Absolutely true.
Guys, what was your reaction when you heard about the release of Impressed, of the compilation featuring you guys and
well, it was a
other
surprise
musicians?
to me. I thought, oh, they've dug the stuff up at last. People have been phoning me on and off for 15 years, saying, when such things going to be released. And 1 or 2 people tried to do so, and they got answers from the copyright holders of the record, such as, all right, it'll be an £8,000 license fee to release 1,000 copies, for example, of the Harvey's Lotus, and that rather brought them to a stop.
Yeah.
So the thought that occurred to me was, if they're asking £8,000, they want to stop people. Why do they want to stop people? Because they think they're going to make more money in the end themselves by doing it later. That was my reaction.
I was just amazed. I was just surprised. Although someone had told me that Duskfire and records like that we made with the Rendell Car Group, with Mike's compositions. Someone told me that in good condition they were selling for about 300 quid.
Oh, yeah.
And I just thought, 300, yes. Unbelievable.
When those records came out, this is something I'd love to find out, is how many would they press? For example, when this first came out, Shades of Blue, how many would they press? How many would that sell?
1,000.
1,000. And it never got repressed again?
I don't think they
Not
sold
to our knowledge.
1,000.
Well, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I know that the biggest selling one with my name on the front, which Don was on, Farmer's Lotus, it sold 1,200, and that was the largest of the Argo sales that I had.
Hence
out of
why
about
they became
10 albums.
so rare.
Well, yeah. So,
Dust Fire was interesting because I think it's an excellent cover.
yes,
It's beautiful cover.
Yeah.
And that was used in an advert in a magazine. I remember seeing a pretty lady on the floor holding it like this.
That's right.
Probably
They always have to
advertising.
be. Yes.
Advertising to
Oh, and the actual sleeve of the record.
Yes.
She had the record.
Oh, yes.
It's a kind of cool
Yes.
accessory.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yes, it's true.
What was your experience first hearing these guys? Was that a while ago?
Well, it was really as a collector, actually. You know, I knew of them as names, as musicians, but I didn't really know their music. And I'd had this strange block in my head about British jazz for years. I mean, I knew there was some internationally renowned musicians that came out of the UK that I played or that I had records of, Tubby Hayes and Harry Beckett, people like that who... Harry Beckett, I kind of got to know his music because he was playing on quite a lot of those crossover bands, such as Working Week, those bands that were sort of a bit jazzy in the 80s. So I kind of got to meet and know people like him then. But your music, I hadn't really associated with the beauty that it was because I think I kind of, in somewhere in the back of my head, I'd put it there with the more Dixieland stuff. I don't know why, but I was, you know, those are names that I connected them with. I mean, this is quite a long way ago.
Fascinating how we all categorise.
Yeah.
Because we have to in order to keep the world in order in our own minds.
Yeah.
It is interesting how they come
It was
on.
my experience of
Yeah.
British jazz and my experience of not being, you know, having problems with Ronnie Scott's back in the day because they didn't really like my type in their place. This is really going back, and they saw us as
The enemy.
a little bit. It was a strange, you know. I was just a kid who was playing a bit of hip hop, and maybe I'd play a John Coltrane record on the radio, and it was instinct for me. But to other people there was a culture and a way of doing things in the jazz world, and I was obviously seen as a little bit of a dilettante or something. So, but anyway, eventually I found. I bought a copy of Shades of Blue for a lot of money from a collector because obviously I'm such a passionate collector of music, and eventually someone played me that and I was like, this is unbelievable music, and you know, dished out 200 quid or whatever, and then obviously I went on and bought the whole lot and or tried to get the whole lot and discovered your great music, you know, but very late.
And all the time you could have looked in the London telephone directory and phoned up Don Rendell.
Yeah. But I didn't think of it like that.
No, one doesn't, you see. You don't believe that people who are in advance of you in terms of age, because I've been through this too, you know, they're somehow, well, they're somewhere else. They're in heaven already. They might be still around, but they're not really around. When you actually come face to face with them, you think, oh, blimey, and he lives down the road, and all of a sudden their stature is reduced dramatically.